So, welcome everybody.
Guten Tag.
I told you A1 level of German. You should take the test, honestly. Yeah, so we're kicking off with the best and most difficult run. It's just going to go downhill from there, really. Aside from the German sweet tasting.
TFS,
highlight.
the TFS run's gonna be fucking great. I'm gonna get fucking world record.
Just like UPB in Pop 2. Or go overestimate by 15 minutes. One of the two, I think.
We'll talk about Pop 2 when Pop 2 comes up, okay?
Okay. Fair. So, yeah, we're starting with that way stuff. Cool.
Everything is so much clearer and obvious.
So yeah, yesterday I explained like 4 or 5 things to Sam, and now we can fill 35 minutes of commentary with that.
Yes, I remember last night at midnight we talked about this game, and I remember about 10% of it. So let's go.
Cool.
Possession of their fiefdom, situated in a minor province of
I start the timer before I start the run, just because I need to do very quick input. It's fucked, really.
Greatest heroes of our time.
Yeah, so this run is pretty much non-stop button mashing for Toca. He just has to click things all over the place constantly. And in level 1, you're going to see kind of the formula that every level follows, which is build stuff to make resources to build more stuff until you can get the thing that beats the level. Since we're on easy, a nice little trick that Toca's going to be using is once he's done with a building, he'll demolish it to get a lot of its resources back so that he can put them into other projects.
All of its resources.
Well, on easy, it's all of its resources. And hopefully I'm not jumping the gun here. I think it was level 1 that had rope skip. We'll talk about that next level. We're off to a great start. But yeah, pretty much this level was just teaching you the very basics of how to build, and as you see, it's already done. So I guess we should talk about how this is the fast forward category, which means that the game is generally running 10 times faster than normal. Sometimes Toca will slow it down to do more precise things that require timing, but in general we're moving at 10 times speed. This is also full campaign, as opposed to any percent where you can skip to the last level almost immediately. Kind of a mechanic that this level introduces that Toca is working with is leveling up citizens a little, which is like you have to get certain resources and upgrade their happiness meter over time. Rope skip, so this level tries to teach you how to make the things necessary to get ropes, but you can actually just purchase them from a traveling merchant, which is not intended, we're pretty sure, but it just allows you to skip the entire tutorial on how to make them. So also Severus Snape in the top right here, sometimes you'll see he's going to be the mini bad guy for a few levels before we kick his ass. So
God bless you.
alright, that's about all I remember about this game, so I think the rest we can probably just sit in silence.
Yeah, that's fine. Also didn't soft lock, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a thing that can happen in certain levels, is if you don't click the dialogues in the top right, or if you click them too fast sometimes, there are various ways to soft lock. So.
Yeah, it's like things are not happening in order, and there's no way to do them after they should have happened.
Right,
like that.
right. You're gonna do merchant skip, right?
I mean, I'll try it, I guess.
Sick.
But I will quick save before it, because I'm weak.
No, that's fair.
Why don't you build a warehouse where we can store the goods to build the harbor?
Just a little something for the
Also,
journey,
shortcuts are a
and
thing.
We'll get going.
Oh yeah, I guess I could. So I was about to say that I remembered legitimately nothing about Chapter 3 other than the fact that it's the 3rd chapter. But I guess I can talk about keyboard shortcuts. So one of the ways to speed up this run is to make extensive use of the ridiculous number of shortcuts it has, because it's a strategy game. So there's, for example, a button to center the camera on your warehouse, which is kind of like your home base.
Take your goods.
There's a button to center the camera on your ships in order, so you can kind of get to them quicker. We've, I think, already seen it at least once, but there is, if you hold shift when you click a certain button in the UI, you can automatically, like, basically maximize the efficiency of every type of every building of a certain type. And so Toka will be using that sometimes when he needs to, for example, plant fields for his farms. He can, with one mouse click, plant all of the possible fields.
Good things come to those who wait.
Here he's building a bunch of stuff and then immediately deleting it because he's kind of going through the steps of a tutorial quest. And as soon as he's built the thing, the quest is satisfied, and then he no longer needs it anymore.
Did you know? I have asked the best armorers in the Empire to come to equip the Crusade army with new weapons.
I believe the objective of this chapter is to get weapons.
We don't want them.
That's the next one. Here we had to build ships.
Ah, okay.
Which we did. And now Mary is happy.
So basically, the aim of the campaign in this game is just to teach you all the mechanics of the game, and it has a little bit of a story attached to it. Pretty much there is, as you saw him in the loading screen there, Cardinal Lucius, aka a Sith Lord, is aiming to take over the world because he's religious, and religious people are evil. And he is he's using you as a pawn in his schemes, but we're gonna break the cycle. We're gonna break out of the system, and we're going to become Jedi.
Let's start here in the monastery.
Or we're taking the red pill or whatever.
Yeah.
Castaways. Good heavens.
No, I think the blonde woman gets red pilled. I think we take both pills. We like fully reject the system in every way. Something we can talk about is that there are side quests in the campaign, and like many of them are optional, but some of them do end up saving time because of the rewards they give you or the other opportunities they unlock. And many times Toka will actually be doing the things that you need to do to complete them long before he gets the quest. Also true for the main quests of each level. He'll like start, generating resources that he won't need until much later. One thing that's kind of interesting to note is that every level starts you with a very specific map and inventory. So like you can make 1 billion silver in level 3, but in level 4 you won't have any silver when you start. So it's you really.
But yeah.
Boy, I just was using it as an example.
Ah, I see.
But yes, it is. It's not advantageous at all to overachieve because everything will be reset at the end of the level.
This right here was one of the instances where I stopped the fast forward because buying stuff on 10 times speed is glitchy as fuck.
Yeah, in addition to manufacturing things, there's a lot of purchasing that goes on, because obviously that is a lot faster than making things in many cases. But gold can become a bit of a limiting factor, as well as the inventory of the merchants that take time to reset. That's my understanding. Maybe when Toka has a second, he can answer more thoroughly. But yes, this is like a competitive game you can play against other people, correct?
You can, yeah. You can also play it single player, no problem.
Okay.
But first, don't worry. I will take these children in and attend to their physical and
So kind of like the Civilization series in that sense, where it's primarily a strategy game. It just happens to have a mini story mode attached to it that teaches you many of the mechanics.
Yeah. Actually, occasionally people will come into the Anno speedrun server and ask whether somebody wants to play multiplayer. And then we have to tell them, bro, this is a speedrun server. Here's the official one. Maybe we want to ask there.
Classic.
One of your ships is being attacked by corsairs.
Good lord, we did it. Now
So you're about to do the 2 versus 4 combat?
3 versus 4, but yeah.
3 versus 4. So The primary strategy that goes into this fight is having all of your ships target single ships at a time, which just burns through them very quickly, and you end up winning. If you just let the AI take over, your ships would fire somewhat randomly at the other ships and treat them as like a collective entity, and you will lose. So
One of your plants has stopped producing
that
goods.
strategy allows you to win fights with significantly fewer vessels on your side, and we'll see it
One of your
in addition to
plants
some
has
other strats. We'll see that come
stopped
up
producing goods.
throughout the rest of the game. Are we soft locked?
Yes, we are, but in a way I've never seen before, so that's cool.
That's 2 in 24 hours, guys.
Production has been
We're
disrupted.
making progress. We're discovering new things all the time.
So usually there's an icon, like this is the quest part of this sidebar, and usually there's a trophy icon which tells you the main quest thing you have to do.
And it's just gone.
It's gone. To be fair, I did press escape too early, so maybe that has to do with it. Anyway, I have to reset the...
Well, if there's no main quest, doesn't that mean you won?
You know, you might think that.
The background image is apparently Bavaria, where we currently reside. Now, I have to admit, we just walked to the supermarket a bit ago, and it did not look nearly that pretty. So I think I might be getting gaslighted.
Almost like we're close to Germany's second biggest city, and not even close to the countryside.
Yeah, like I said,
Good
gaslighting.
heavens, the children can hardly keep their heads above water. When these children went missing, I said to
Anyway,
myself,
this mission got all over
"There's
again."
something very fishy here. So I followed you and
Yeah,
promptly
you
ran
know,
into
everything I
a
said,
dreadful
except
storm.
again.
With great difficulty, I managed to make it to my brother's monastery. And then the rain even washed the road away.
It's actually a funny little thing in this mission, on this chapter.
Would you be so good?
Your main objective is to save some children or whatever, and
Can I entrust
the abbot you're seeing the whole time in the top right corner,
further south of this region? Let's hope
he's
you
helping
might
you
trust
with
the
this
thieves.
chapter, and at some point he says,
These poor-
you know,
I do
and
not
his
care.
name is
Please,
Hilarious,
don't
like Brother
listen.
Hilarious. That's
Otherwise,
important.
the children will catch
context.
their deaths within these-
And at some point he says, when I heard about these poor children, I thought to myself, Hilarious?
Have you come with good
You need
strength,
to help these, whatever.
You have shown yourself. Perhaps
And-
the Grand Vizier.
If you manage to cut that dialogue short, that might be a bit misleading.
Maybe a little. He does. He is very attached to the poor drowning children, though.
An island.
As they get thrown overboard and such, he becomes very distressed.
It's true.
Just created this caravanserai. There is still so much.
Oh, also, multi-building is a thing.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that since I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the remastered version of this game, which first of all allows it to run 10 times faster reliably, and also adds some new features such as dragging multiple buildings down. So in the original version of the game, you have to place them on a building by building basis, and sometimes when Toka's building like 20 buildings at once, that, you know, is a big time save. It's also just a good quality of life thing.
I'm in charge here. The way I see it, what goes on in my mind concerns no one but the Sultan and the Grand Vizier.
Something I've noticed about the NPCs in this game is that almost all of them are assholes. So
Okay.
that's
Kind of a hot take.
that's my commentary for the time being. We've got like Northbur, our bro, who, you know, teaches us how to live. You know, he's basically our father. And then we've got Hilarious, who's just like a chill dude living on an island. There's this crazy blonde lady who like is just a raging Christian, wants to take over the world by force. She gets gaslit, which, you know, she deserves. And then everyone else, pretty much. Everyone else is either literally a Sith Lord or just a dick.
Take them by Allah, and this present too. The main thing is that I don't
Whatever
get
that means.
That's the true canon, right? I nailed it.
You have discovered.
God,
Anyway,
the children look so exhausted. Whatever happened to the poor souls?
You are looking
for children. Well, we are all looking for...
Yeah, this is all kinds of messed up now.
Hassan Ben Sahid is not to be trifled.
One of your plants has stopped.
So right here you see one of the main limiting features of this particular speedrun, like the fast forward category. So at that point I have to wait for weapons to be produced, and there's no way I can do it. Like there's nothing I can do to sit there.
Are attacking your ship.
So of course I can do things while waiting for that and before that, just parallelize things, but there are just some things you have to wait for. Those are limiting factors for how fast you can go.
You'll pay for this.
I feel like it's a very intuitive concept. So I will win this fight, but barely.
You will regret this.
You
Yeah, I'm
did it.
Have you
on half health.
Well
That's fine.
done. You put up a really good fight.
Will I not soft dog this time?
It's solid 50-50.
I finished the mission.
I'm proud of you.
Fuck, bro. I know why my estimate is 50 minutes, although world record is 36.
Huge warships.
Chapter 5 is the big
Seem
one.
to be
Election
anyone
focus.
in your town who can produce leather clothing. Perhaps that will change once your town.
So
grows
a
bit
small
larger.
piece of tech that I think I understood
Pluck up
correctly
some
is that
courage and
at
let
the
us
beginning of
into
each
your
level it's
testament
important
of
to
my
get
mind.
the
That's
banner
the
out of the
truth.
way as quickly as possible, because you cannot click on anything behind it, and as you saw, it kind of takes up a large portion of the center of the screen. So there's also a nifty little mechanic, because I am currently in the middle of a casual playthrough of this game that I started approximately 2 years ago. That Toca was sharing with me, this nifty little mechanic where you don't actually have to build roads between certain buildings. Like if there are buildings that contribute to each other, you only have to build a road between the thing that makes the final product and where you want it to go.
The climb up to the monastery
As long as the
was
buildings
not
are close
just a
together.
little something for the journey, and we'll get going.
Very handy, but not as widely known as it should be. Because the game doesn't teach you about it.
Here's Marie, by the way.
My Allah! The Occidental fleet is attacking
Not
my
yet, but
plantations.
she's going to be lied to and turned against
State
us.
pickers, unarmed and unprotected.
Spoiler.
I beg you, help us! What we have here, we appear to have found someone
Sam continues to be the lore master.
leather journeys.
I just think it's an important thing that's left out of many speed presentations. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm totally. I just
Lots of fresh water.
stated that as a fact.
Must be out.
Also, just listen to this music and tell me that this isn't Star Wars. Like,
Also calls for lots of fresh water. But
also, I would like everyone in the audience to take a good hard look at Cardinal Lucius the next time he shows up and ask yourself, do I know anyone in my life who looks like this? Because if you do, you should report them, because they're clearly evil.
With Allah's blessing, I hope you will reach my harbor safely. So, thank you.
Brought them to the Academy of Goodness, or what?
I mean, I'm just saying, if I met Cardinal Lucius in real life, I would call the cops immediately. Like that, you do not walk around looking like that unless you are trying to take over the world.
Salt is essential for attack. Here you are. I understand. The charcoal burner supplies the salt works with coal.
Your building opportunities have been expanded.
So what happened right there is the game didn't do what Toca wanted it to do, and he had an aneurysm.
Yeah, that happens occasionally.
Your actions are making you turn from God.
See, here it is. She's starting to believe that we're heretics.
The charcoal burner supplies the salt works with coal.
Which, I mean, we are, but she's only discovering it now.
Shipbuilding completed.
You have appointed a tanner. How wonderful! My people would probably have preferred goats, but pigs will be fine too. Allah, why would Allah let this happen? But perhaps there is a scrap of hope.
Don't sing off. We can stay.
That's top. That is.
Soft lock.
No, the beggars just lose you 5 seconds.
I see.
Because although, as you see, all the animations are sped up,
The voice
some
lines.
of the well, the voice lines are not, and some of the associated animations only finish when the voice line finishes. And the beggars are on a timer, so if I'm too slow, which I was, they will spawn before I'm about to finish that quest.
I see.
And basically, I hate it here.
Yeah, there are strange opportunities for time saves throughout this game. Like, for example, as he just said, if you move fast enough, you don't have to deal with those guys. There's also some rare instances of RNG. For example, I don't remember if it's already happened or not, but I believe the guy who's talking now can offer to sell you a sailing, or a sail. Like a
sailcloth, yeah.
Yeah, a sailcloth, which allows your ship to move faster, but it's not a guaranteed thing.
Yeah. That happens in the final 2 missions.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Utterly incomprehensible. It's as if they were in code.
So we needed some resources, so Toca just destroyed the livelihood of a couple hundred people.
Ah, lovely. You've taken my
Fair
word.
to see how that's my problem, honestly.
Thank heavens.
I mean, what are they going to do? Have an uprising? You have cannons.
You are a great help to me in these difficult times. The logbook.
So here we're using these things called norias, which kind of turn the desert into fertile ground that can be used to
Allah be praised.
place buildings and manufacturing.
Like grow crops.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I believe in one of the upcoming chapters we'll be doing a bit more with those, but for now we're kind of just getting an introduction to them.
Would be useful. Oh yes, your crop. Ah, excellent. So it says
Blasted sandstorm. We'll never find it like this.
the rest of them. We have found Hassan Ben Said's key. There is a glimmer of hope.
So I think we haven't mentioned that yet, but this chapter is the longest and most complex one, because here the game teaches you about patricians being upgraded to noblemen, and patricians need the most things to go to the next stage, basically. That's why I have to do so many things, like produce so many things.
Yes, being noble is a very tiring proposition. You have to, have some very fancy silks and spices.
One of your plants has stopped producing
Books.
goods.
Yeah, need that
Justice system.
that knowledge.
She may have fucked up, we'll see.
Yeah, you can see their happiness meter going up there, and that's because of all of the things Toca has been doing, like putting in place the proper facilities and resources to kind of please the algorithm, basically.
So at this point we have the noblemen, we're producing war machines, and at this point the
Production has been
naval
disrupted.
fighting part is starting.
And we're not using trading vessels as decoys yet, correct?
No, not yet.
Yeah, that's the last mission.
Destroy.
Yeah.
But we are approaching this fight from a very specific angle that prevents many of the ships from noticing us until we've already killed the majority of them. So we kind of get to fight them on a one-on-one basis instead of all at once, which is what makes this fight actually doable with the current resources.
Yeah, otherwise I would have to build warships on my own, not just buy them from him.
Strongbox.
And we don't have time for that.
And resources. I don't have the resources for that.
Don't expect.
Are you unharmed? May Allah bless you.
I'm alright with embracing
Your
capitalism.
kindness to my people.
You have the thing I want, I have things you want.
Do come and sit down. I can't take this piece of evidence
can
to
be
Madame
money, for
D'Artois
example,
myself. Will you deliver it to the
Yeah,
commander?
I'll take it.
I mean, this game really is about capitalism. The trading of goods, war machines, and drowning children.
I don't know how many
Capitalism,
more I can take in.
The hour of
Very good.
I shall retreat.
And
I'll stop for
Mary looks good. Mary looks bad.
You're having
And then Mary looks good again, of
The
course.
shipyard, the shipyard, your ship, the shipyard, your ship, the shipyard, the shipyard workers.
This was the turning or the tipping point in lore, by the way, you were talking
Ever
about.
need more
Yes.
warships?
So basically, Cardinal Lucius is pulling strings behind the scenes to. We've outlived our usefulness, and he is now basically trying to get rid of us because we're going to get in the way of his future goals. But you know, we've got some epic music on our side, and
No goods are being carried.
is this the
on
point
one
at
of
which
your
we're
trading
going to shove our armada up Forcus's ass?
Yeah.
Sick.
Your ship.
Such a disgrace.
This is what happens when you kill Dumbledore.
Don't think this action will
Your ship is the
It's just game. Why he has to be mad? Cool. Yeah, sometimes some of his ships can go all across the map, so you kill everything in his harbor and the mission doesn't end because
You have to chase them down.
one tiny little warship is in the other corner of the fucking map.
flotsam.
As someone who runs TFS, I find this relatable.
Wouldn't know what that
Lucius,
means.
don't worry.
So this level is a bit of an auto-scroller.
We'll be supplied by my ship.
Basically, there's this big storm, and Lucius is gonna try and kill us,
Have
but
little time left
Toca's
to make
going to do what is known as a pro
all the
gamer
men
move
who are fit
and
for military service
stack
gathered
a
here
billion
in
watchtowers on top of each other, and they're just going to melt the
and
enemy.
build an encampment
And then
outside the
eventually, we're gonna flee, because even though we are winning, we're not supposed to be
surrender to
winning.
Cardinal Lucius without a fight.
Also, Marie's back on our side now.
Now
She has been disillusioned. She now understands that she was being lied to.
Yeah.
She has turned from God, probably.
Yeah, she was a red pill for sure.
his attack at any time. Good. It will be difficult to penetrate these defenses. But we don't know how strong Lucius is.
Yeah, here we go. This is clearly the most strategically advantageous arrangement. And don't worry, we're not done. We're gonna add more. We just need some supplies first.
Yeah, we have to wait for the stone.
Help! Enemy troops have landed. The trading routes
Theodore
have
the
collapsed.
Peasant. I didn't even know that guy
Hardly any
existed.
ships left to
Yeah, so he's on
complete
this
the
island down here, which Lucius
I
got to
beseech
first.
you, save
Oh,
us.
so they're just
But-
fucked.
Yeah, basically, yeah, so I don't care about him.
Cardinal's Crusaders. Now all we can do is pray that His Eminence will show mercy and spare our lives.
As is the story with many strats in this game, Toka was telling me that he found this one completely by accident because he just kind of threw them all in the same spot as a joke, and then it just started working.
An enemy has destroyed one of your trade buildings.
But to be fair, I didn't find it initially. I found this version of it. But, so this was a community effort.
That's fair.
But it's still today. Yeah, if you blink, you probably missed the first wave. There were like two small battalions here. Gone.
Also, this castle is invulnerable for story reasons. We cannot destroy it, which is kind of... otherwise, the game would end here.
Yeah.
But,
If you look at it closely, sometimes it's going down and then it's... Yeah, there. It went up to 4-6 again. And 4-6 again.
so you just need to deal 4,500
your
damage to it
buildings
in a
is being
single tick,
attacked.
and then the mission will end.
Yeah. Actually, I've never tried what happens if you set the HP of the castle to 0 with cheat engine or something. The game would just crash or something. I don't know. He's getting his friends.
With God's help, you managed to fend off my people.
You have won a battle.
You know, Toka was saying that this is kind of
Are reported to
a
have seen spies.
bit of a breath of fresh air in the middle of the run, because you're kind of always waiting on something in this level, which means that you don't have to feel very stressed about what you're doing.
Yeah. At this point, we have to wait for the end of the mission. Well, that's one more thing we have to do.
An enemy has destroyed one of your trade buildings.
Then we're done. So the thing with the
One of your
spies here,
buildings
that's
is
a
under
side
fire.
quest. which is not necessary in order to win, but it saves you 45
Your troops
seconds.
were
I think.
victorious.
Because like you're catching spies and interrogating them, you gain information which helps you like
One
have
of your
other
plants
quests
has
trigger
stopped
faster, basically.
producing goods.
And what can happen is that one of the spy can spawn inside a building, I think.
A plant can find no more raw
And
materials.
you cannot demolish these buildings,
What got into you?
which
That would be playing right into Lucius's hands.
I mean she has a point, but if the game is hiding important items from
You
me,
have won a battle.
The ship is
Maybe
on
you
its
just
way.
burn your own city down.
You have
Yeah.
worn the enemy down.
Lucius's troops.
now we're calling for help, and we have to wait for a minute for also here
Worn the enemy down. Has been disrupted. One of your plants.
Great commentary so
Hold
far.
out a little longer. I'll be with
Great
you
playing so
soon.
far. Besides that softball.
Yes.
Everything else was great.
Yeah, there. So it takes 10 minutes
have
for
won a
Elvira to
battle.
arrive on normal time,
You
but
have been beaten
we're
in
10
battle.
times speed, so it takes 1 minute.
So if you're playing the normal category full campaign, which without fast forward, you legitimately have to wait 10 real minutes.
Yeah. Well, that must suck, mustn't it?
Yeah, what kind of crazy person would do a run of that?
Not me. I won't.
One
I
of your
haven't.
buildings is being attacked.
Yet.
No, no,
worn
no,
the
no.
enemy
My friend,
down.
you wrote me the other day and you were like, so
no,
I've just been
You
playing Wrath
defeated
of
an
Cortex
enemy
for
you
5
know.
hours straight.
No, well, that's different.
Lucius is
He said.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you have to tell yourself.
This is how I cope with reality. There he is. Yeah, that's like end of quest screen takes forever, and you can't speed it up for reasons that I don't understand.
A combined effort enabled
I think they just want to spice up their game. Really.
Ah, that's fair.
Allah is gracious. I have just found out that your ailing
Now
son
we're doing
is
the
reputed to
Orient.
have made camp very
Oh
close
yeah,
to here.
all of it.
You must
Yeah,
inform
so
him.
like there's an emperor who got poisoned or something. Is that
Is
this level?
gracious. I have just found out
yeah.
that your ailing son
Yeah,
is
so we have to
reputed
get all
have made
kinds of
camp very
crazy shit
close
so
to
some
here.
witches can make a
You must
medicine.
inform him of the cardinal's machinations. You must
If you're
ensure we
thinking,
have
man,
enough
that's
food
random
for
as
all the
fuck, and
refugees.
that came out of fucking nowhere in a really
Supervise
historically
the building
accurate
of a
game so
late
far.
plantation.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Ah, many thanks. Madame d'Artois' refugees may have lost all.
I think I.
Supper.
Oh, that's fine.
Ah, many thanks. Madame d'Artois' refugees may have lost all. Ah, many thanks.
With the Emperor, there are rumors.
You have discovered a building on an island.
Yes, this is Toka's favorite character. This psychotic witch.
If this message
Allah, shukran. Take this.
At least you know what you're getting with her, you know?
Yeah, the unexpected. So no, you don't.
are you looking?
You know she's gonna be crazy. That's no assurance at all.
Ah, good.
Do you intend this as a
She's the
token
only
of your
non-facetious
appreciation?
character in this
Sultan?
game.
I have.
Yes, I just want to use that word.
I know, it's a good word.
It is.
So yeah, in addition to your citizens, which become patricians and noblemen, there are also these nomads that can level up into other things.
And what?
Yes, and so that's kind of one of the things we have to work on to get everything we need for this essence of life or whatever it's called that we're making to cure the poisoned emperor. Can I assume that Lucius poisoned him?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I figured.
Envoys as well as nomads.
It's the least surprising thing.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen the man? He's evil.
Colorful carpets. We should start making these
Kind of a
noble
simplified
works not in art.
worldview, isn't it? Judging.
Do
people
not
based on their
judge
looks.
a book by its cover unless that cover is fucking evil.
You had the indigo for that. Splendid.
New buildings are ready to be.
Fantastic.
What?
Fantastic. The carpet knotter will soon start work, inshallah. Ha ha!
Oh, we could, no, not what?
Let the trading.
Okay. No, I was able to buy the cycle.
Cool. So, yes, that was the RNG we talked about that is going to make his ship sail faster. Which is kind of a free time save.
Did you really land?
Lovely.
One of your plants has stopped producing.
So this
Why
tower
have
is
I messed
Richard's
up?
prison, and it is heavily guarded.
Why have I messed up?
Oh my goodness! However, are we to get the poor man out of
What's
there?
missing?
Miners. Allah is great.
The
You could dig a
silk, have I
tunnel
not?
and secretly free Lord Northborough from the prison tower.
Did you know that silk and milk, they sound similar? They do.
Undertake such a dangerous
Not the
task.
same.
If we want envoys to volunteer
you okay?
to help rescue Lord Northborough, then we must have something to offer them.
You see, that's the thing that can happen if you're on autopilot.
Splendid.
Honestly, I just wait here until a bit of silk is produced. Also take all this milk and I'll throw it overboard. There. I'm sad. Yeah, so the envoys are the bottleneck of this chapter. Because for the final part of the mission you need 32 envoy houses.
And they each need a bunch of mosaic.
Yeah. There we go.
Envoys now also
There's
live in
also
your
a kind of nifty little mechanic in this
Numerous
level where there's
envoys in
this
your city.
hidden treasure we have to get as part of the recipe for the Essence of Life. And it can be at one of 3 places, but which one it is at is conveniently marked by a little visual Easter egg kind of skeleton thing, so we don't actually have to guess.
Nowhere to be. Should build a bridgehead, which we can retreat to if anything
Luckily,
goes wrong.
I mean, that would be terrible.
Build a castle. Need a tunnel.
He said, even though he grinds the IL, in which you have to hope that it's the right one.
Well, to be fair, it's not a 1/3 chance like the...
So it's not.
It's a skewed probability
Oh,
distribution.
heaven.
Because of course it is. Why the fuck did they take
When
the
I
time to set
noticed
it
where
up
Fortress
like
was
that?
taking me, I almost abandoned hope. But I
Okay,
knew
let's quick save
I
and do
knew.
Fresh new skip, hot off the presses, everyone.
There is, however,
Didn't get it. I'll try again.
So basically he's positioning his ship in a very specific spot. There's a chance that the enemy will not spawn, but if it does spawn, it will not run away, which allows him to kill it much quicker, which is what makes the skip, valuable.
Thank you. When I noticed where
I'm in full.
This is, like I said, a fairly new find, so we don't fully understand everything about it yet. But as you can see, the enemy's just sitting there getting destroyed, which is, ideal.
And because we have to bring the item back here that we need from him, we just chase him all over the map and then go back
No
here.
reason at all.
It has queen sisters here.
There is an old legend of a mighty enemy.
Actually, the pearl isn't the best location.
It's a black pearl.
Yeah, the one closest, right?
That is
Yeah.
still
what? What?
So one of the new soft locks we found last night was that he brought all the ingredients here, and then the quest did not trigger to build or to make the
Like the file of
yeah,
forges.
yeah.
Do you have fortune?
Which I'm sure makes a lot of sense, but I just reject it. I reject the game on a personal level.
You actually?
Cool. Only one more. We'll make it underestimate.
Okay,
go.
so if this were any percent, this is exactly where we would go after level 1. This is the final chapter.
Yeah.
The Emperor is cured. Marie is on our side, and Lucius doesn't stand a chance. So allegedly. So the goal of this mission is to finish building this cathedral before Lucius finishes building his cathedral. For some reason, I really don't understand why the fuck that matters, but you have to do that, and then you take your ships and the Emperor's Armada and Marie's Gusto and you go shove your armada up Lucius's ass this time, since Forcus is still in the hospital recovering after what we did to
I
him.
will send them to you to help you build the Imperial Cathedral.
One of your plans.
Oh, Al-Zahir is sending us some construction workers to help us. Wonderful.
So in other
This will
words,
speed
the goal
things
of
up
this game
immensely.
really was to
Good. At the moment, it's best if we alone
constantly
decide how
ruin
the building
people's
material
livelihoods
should be used.
in order to attain immense material wealth, and then use that wealth to wage war against our enemies.
Yeah.
So, you know, pretty accurate to the historical time period in which it takes place.
One of your
When I look around, oh,
So they destroyed half my city because they want the stuff.
Yeah, see what I mean?
is it
Yeah.
foolish to hope that one day my city will once again
There are going to be
shine
some
magnificently as before?
waves of spies throughout the building of the cathedral that we're going to have to get, not all of them, but most of them, because the early ones do some quite bad things. For example, the first wave steals all of our wood, which, you know, is a problem when you're building a building that is primarily made out of wood.
You have the spies? Excellent. Who knows what they were planning? Please make contact with Madame d'Artois and the Grand
Eventually,
Vizier.
we will have enough
We'll only
supplies
stand a
that we
chance
to
against
spare that we
power.
can just
Time is of the essence. We must
kind
be
of
the
instantly
first to
repair
finish
the
off
things
the
that the spies destroy, and
Time
it's
is
no
of the
longer really our
essence. We
concern.
must be the
But
first to finish our Imperial Cathedral.
we're not there yet. There you can see the cathedral leveled up. We were able to take it to its next stage, of which there are 4, I believe.
Yeah.
Cardinal Lucius.
Like the first one is just
The new
building
team
the
of
foundation,
are now operational.
and then there's 3 where you have to do all the waiting.
That will really push
Right,
things forward.
and as you might expect, each phase requires, you know, different materials. So the first one needs like lots of wood and stone, I would imagine, and then tools, excuse me. And then as you move through the different
is a lack
stages,
of
you need
company
different
in your
supplies.
settlement.
So, not that I
Grand
know,
Vizier
but I
is now
assume
sending us
Toga
his
has been
master
kind of
builders to
planting the seeds
Albion.
of buildings that will be providing the
We'll now
things
be
they'll
able
need
to
later.
complete the next construction phase in no time at all.
How destined must you be to bring all the
0
Emperor's
save
master
lots.
buildings all the way.
Unfortunate.
Didn't want speed anymore.
How lovely!
Some dubious
Well, I would hope
characters have
not.
been
World
sighted in
record
the city.
past 4 minutes.
Spies sent by Lucius, no doubt.
I wonder what happens.
Catch them before they can wreak havoc. You have the spies? Excellent.
Also, we haven't really explained, but the spies, or as the game loves to call them, dubious characters,
Lucius has slipped into madness.
are these little glowing people that look notably different that run around your city, and you just have to click on them with your, you know, hand of God from the sky, and just, you know, pick them up and throw them in jail.
Yeah.
The cathedral should also contain splendid stained glass windows. We should build up a supply in advance. After all, this building material is extremely fragile.
I'm just saying maybe your leadership's kind of weak if you need a mega church in order to convince people to fight Cardinal Lucius, because I think I could convince people to fight Cardinal Lucius on the basis that he's evil.
Some dubious characters.
Like, I would just draw a picture of him and be like, do you see this man? Do you understand why we need to kill him?
Who knows what they were planning?
Whatever, bro.
Are you only just starting to build your glass furnaces?
I feel like you're not embracing the 1404 spirit here.
You can beat me like that.
I mean, maybe if the people of 1404 didn't know what evil looked like, they deserved to be enslaved. You know, it's all I'm throwing out there.
For some reason I'm short on stone, but
Celebrating the coming
it doesn't matter.
By Allah, you are here at last, Ibn Allah.
There is a lack of company in your
So yeah, obviously the time save in this mission comes from not waiting for materials to be delivered. It's like always have resources in stock to build the thing. That's the obvious part of the time save. The not so obvious part are the side quests,
Finally,
the optional side quests, which give you items, like this one right here.
This is what the Cardinal
Tom on architecture, which reduces the construction cost and time by 60%.
That's a pretty big deal.
It is.
But please,
And there's one of these items for each stage
the sign.
of the cathedral building.
What is your remedy?
And to be fair, at this point,
people are
Lucius poisoned our
rampaging
city,
through the
and
streets.
now, as a citizen, I would say, okay, fuck that guy, you know?
Yeah, right? Like,
Essence of life.
But yes, we just got more of the antidote that was given to the Emperor, I think, and we administered that to our whole city somehow. Probably poured it in the well or something. I don't know.
You have the spies? Will you fulfill?
Tied to the leg of pigeons.
What is that a reference to, I wonder?
We're almost there.
Something historical, I think. Also, because we're assholes, we're taxing the people. I want money.
Production has been disrupted.
Yeah, you know, I mean, as soon as this mission's over, we never have to talk to these people again. So we're just gonna, you know, take all their money.
Yeah.
There is a
Some dubious characters inside this. Some dubious. You have the spies?
You probably didn't see it right there, but one of the spies was clipped into a corner of this building. Which, you know, here is fine, because here you can see them. But if they were clipped into, let's say, this corner of this building, chances are you will not find them as easily. In Chapter 6, for example.
There is a lack of company.
So yeah, that's why I know this clipping thing can happen. And I think that's where the soft log in Chapter 6 can come from.
Production has been disrupted.
Time to wait.
The exciting and intense speedrun that you're all here for. The waiting.
Dude, 85% of the speedrun are very intense, actually. So
No,
People
yeah,
are
absolutely.
longing for company.
I think I'm allowed to.
I think it's a funny juxtaposition. It's like we're like go go go, and then you just like lean back and you're like, and now we wait.
Yeah.
We could indeed use some
So at this point we just have to wait for the
One of your plants has stopped producing
cathedral to
goods.
finish, because that will trigger the final naval battle.
One of your plants has stopped producing goods.
I entreat you.
Why
Send
do I-
the master builders back to work.
Am I stupid?
Lucius
Oh yeah,
won't
I
allow
am
his
stupid.
people to rest either.
You heard it
There
here
is a
first,
lack
folks.
of company. in
He
your
is stupid.
Your water supplies are running out.
Yeah, I was wondering, it's kind of weird that these spies aren't spawning. Something is off. That something was that I'm not delivering glass to my island. Which, if you want to build like windows for a cathedral, kind of important.
We're almost there.
Yeah, so you know, kind of a staple of this genre of game,
is a
but still
lack of
something I think
company
is
in your
immensely
settlement.
cool and interesting to play around with is that you've kind of seen a couple times now. He's set up trade routes where his his ships literally just go from point A to B to C to however many points he picks. And if there are certain things available there, they will pick them up and then drop them off wherever you tell them to.
Yeah.
So you essentially do some automation of your gameplay, which is kind of neat. It's kind of like it reminds me of
There is a
some of the
lack
stuff
of
you would do in like
Some dubious
Factorio or
characters
something.
have been
Yeah.
sighted in the city.
Yeah, especially if you're playing a solo game, you want to build this like, huge ass city. There's no way you would be able to do it without the trading routes.
Our warehouse? No.
Oh, we're already on this one.
Underhanded devil Lucius. We cannot ship any goods until we've rebuilt it.
Yeah, so right there, Lucius used his dubious characters to destroy one of our buildings, but we have so many supplies that
Mustn't
we
give
just
up now.
put it back.
I've received information that my cousin the Emperor
If you will,
is on his
imagine
way here.
that you're waging medieval warfare and you
almost
destroy
there.
your enemy's
We can finish
warehouse
these
where they
also
keep all
think
of their
about the
important,
glass for the
things.
windows of our
And as
imperial
soon as you
cathedral.
destroy it, a Fortnite character
Some
comes out
dubious
and
character
immediately
is
starts
inside.
rebuilding it in front of you
Spies
instantaneously.
sent by Lucius,
That's what we just did.
We must catch them before they can.
Nothing kills morale more.
That's right. Also the final wave of spies, which I sadly didn't catch.
There is a lack of company.
Fortunate that you managed to
How
rebuild
fortunate.
the fishermen's huts.
Yeah, so we just kind of, we knew they were going to kill our fishermen, so we just doubled the amount of
We're
fishermen
almost
they had.
I love this game.
The fishermen don't.
My,
Not really my problem.
The Cardinal's ships are still
I mean, the new
sailing in
fishermen
waters.
do.
Well, yeah, I mean,
To be spared.
they're probably sad that their fathers died,
could indeed
but
use stone on the constructions.
Yeah, here you see the
trading.
One of your ships is...
Yeah, so the enemy AI, I don't know if this is true for all difficulties, but on easy, it's very easily fooled. If you have trading vessels in your armada, it will target them first because it thinks, oh, we're really going to set the player back if we destroy their ability to move goods. But while they're attacking your trading vessels, you just annihilate them.
Enemies of this new world.
Toka's also occasionally slowing down the fast forward here to make sure that he doesn't accidentally target the wrong thing. If he, for example, tries to attack a ship but clicks the ocean instead, his ships will stop attacking and start moving to that spot, which is not ideal.
His fleet was too powerful. None of my ships. Idiots. Let us.
He's in a barrel.
Let the
And time. Insane run, let's go. Underestimate, maybe the only time today will be underestimate.
It's exactly the reason why my estimate is 50 minutes, because especially in the marathon when, like, with 10% of your brain you have to listen to what your commentator says, so that they don't spit ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah, you know, I could have just said fucking anything, so...
Yes. Could have grabbed all of my attention and my run could have gone even worse. I appreciate that you didn't.
No problem, man.
Okay. Let's go into a quick intermission, and I think next is TFS, actually.
Oh, is it?
We'll see. Something is next.